So welcome to my broadcast again. Thanks for checking out. Look, it's not just cliche anymore to say that times are changing. That we're in dangerous times. You probably remember your parents, your father, your mother saying how the world had changed. Well, look, if you're, I don't know how old you are, but if you're not now saying the same thing, you're living in a bubble. We've got some incredible things going on. There's a lot going on that needs to be focused on. Primarily, what I'm concerned about is the insecticide spraying, and that happened here in Miami about once a week for I guess it was 2 months. It started in Wynwood and then it came over to the beach here, and I didn't really think anything of it. I got involved because I saw so many protests happening, so many irate citizens demanding that the local government use an alternative insecticide, an organic, safe insecticide, but they turned a deaf ear and proceeded to use what's called Dibron, nail it. So that's when I got involved, and it's just kind of snowballed from here. So all it basically takes, guys, wherever you are watching this, and I know a previous video of mine now has 150 hits, wherever you're watching this, wherever you are on the globe, if you're in the US, if you're elsewhere, we are in a changing environment. We are in a new world order, and I've showed this before. I'm going to show it again. It's right in front of you. Okay, it's right there. It's right on your dollar bill. Okay, New World Order, Novos Ordo Seclorum. I mean, it's all the symbols, the symbolisms, the signs are everywhere. If we think that we are immune to history, we fool ourselves. So my take is the media is totally biased. Our sporting events are lopsided. It's a theater, and unfortunately, my fellows, conflict of war is the same thing. It's nothing more than a theater. I've mentioned this before. Albert Pike, he wrote, scripted WW1, WW2, and WW3. Okay, we need to look into what's going on in Denver. The airport, 58 square miles. That's the largest airport in the U.S. It's not a very big city, folks. Why was such a large airport needed for that area? Okay, there's ex-government officials talking about a military base being dug underground. I mean, what's that? Well, what's going on? Okay, tunnels. If this stuff is true, we need to figure it out. We need to know what's going on. Okay, it's all right. As a human being, it's all right. We run the government, but as you look into this, you'll realize that we don't run the government. Okay, that's why I throw these slides in here. Your Federal Reserve operates your government. There's nothing federal about them. They are a banking organization, an international banking organization. I mean, look, if you look at the foundation of this country, you go back to the 1600s, the Pilgrims got here. They came ashore for religious freedom, regardless of however they treated the indigenous people. You know, we've got to change things. Okay, so it's not about a black or white. It's not about an Indian or a Chinese. Okay, it's regardless. It's a human race you need to be focused on because we're being manipulated. All right, so what did these people start this country for? Why was the U.S. Constitution written? And that was to escape, basically, when you look at it, banking powers. Okay, that's the Federal Reserve, unfortunately. And I repeat this every broadcast. Typically, I mention 1913 Woodrow Wilson Federal Reserve Act. There's nothing federal about that organization. They are an international cartel. What was the Pope? Fine, if you're Catholic, it doesn't matter. But if you're not Catholic, you need to have the same rights. So what was the Pope doing at Independence Hall, preaching. Okay, he's got. What right does he have to spew his opinions and his theories, religious theories, on the doorstep of Independence Hall? Okay, what right does he not have? Fine, but my point is, okay, he does have a right. But my point is, why did he choose Independence Hall? I look at it and I say, hey, wait, here's the English that left the Roman Empire or left the Catholic Church, and then here are their descendants that came ashore here to seek religious freedom. So isn't that a slap in the face? To give a sermon on the same hall that declared independence from Britain, that had declared independence from you? Isn't it basically a slap in the face? So if you're Jewish, if you're Buddhist, if you're Hindi, if you're Mormon, go to Independence Hall. Get your leader to go to Independence Hall and hold a rally. Okay, give a talk. The Pope just did it. He just squatted right on your independence freedom. He just squatted right on your U.S. Constitution. Why? Because he knows that the U.S. Constitution means nothing. Nothing. It's totally controlled by the Federal Reserve. It's totally controlled by the banks that he's a part of. Okay, it's a monetary cartel that implements these laws to control you. So the other thing to talk about today, you've got things to think about. You got the Denver airport to start looking at. You've got the Vatican and the role that they're playing, the relationship that he's built with Obama. What's Obama going into Cuba for? It's a communistic country. He's opening the trade up again? He's opening the trade up, but the government's not changing. Well, wasn't that the whole idea behind the JFK blockade? Was because, hey, you're not a free and democratic government until you change. We will alienate you. So what's Obama going in and saying, hey, okay, nothing's changed. Keep your government. We'll bring all our American dollars to your soil for vacation, right? Isn't that essentially what's going on? So why has that deal been met? Why are those doors being opened? Okay, I'm in Miami. There's millions of Cubans here. They're here because they fled a government that was tyrannic, right? So what's happening to our government, folks? What's happening here? What's happening here? Regardless of your opinion, you've got to look at facts. When a crop duster flies over your head and sprays you with chemicals that your neighbors are saying are toxic, how are you going to react? Are you going to go buy a gas mask? Are you going to suck it in? Or are you going to research and figure out that, wait, microcephaly is caused by insecticides. Check it out, stopspraying.org. It's a fact. Zika, there's no science that shows and proves that causes microcephaly. None. Doesn't exist. There is nothing that shows that Zika causes microcephaly. However, there are studies after studies that show that insecticides and microcephaly do cause microcephaly in human beings and in guinea pigs. It's all there, stopspraying.org. So you've got to start looking into some of this other stuff. The other thing is you've got to ask yourself, are your freedoms being taken away? 9/11 hit, terrorist charges. Look, I personally, and I posted here in a link, I personally suggested staging a protest to get that plane that was spraying those insecticides to stop taking off. Okay? A peaceful protest on public land. Okay, the taxpayers pay for it. And I was told that I'd risk being arrested. Wait, since when does protesting risk being arrested? Okay, so what are some of the laws that are changing? How is that affecting our day-to-day life to voice our opinion civilly and peacefully? Okay, when your voice is squashed, when you're no longer able to speak the way you feel you should be speaking, there's a problem. There's a major problem. So what's happening with the Walmarts? What's happening with FEMA? You look, turn your TV off. Okay, you're not getting straight news most of the time through your television. Your networks are bought out. They're most of the times they're flooding your mind with brainwashing tactics to get you to think one way or the other. Ronald Reagan once said, "There's no left, there's no right, there's only up or down." Okay, what does that mean? Forget Democratic, forget Republican. Both parties are ridiculous. Both parties are bought. Okay, it's only you proceed, you progress forward, You work together in united fashion as a combined people. You break down walls. Trump, no wall. You break down walls. You live peacefully together. You learn each other's languages. You help feed each other. Okay? You either do that or you take sides. You say, no, I'm going to live here, I'm going to live here, and we're going to fight. Okay? Fighting violence is wrong. It doesn't take a kindergartner to tell you the difference between a frown and a smile, the difference between being nice and not being nice. Okay? As an adult, and hopefully I'm assuming you're an adult, you should know that. Break down some of these walls, folks. Look at what's going on. The Walmarts, what are happening, barbed wire going around some of these Walmarts that are being closed for plumbing issues. Okay, something is being planned and you don't know about it. Why don't you know about it? Because you're allowing the media to fuel you with nonsensical information and you're not privy to the money-making schemes that are going on behind your back. You're just a tax-paying slave, just like me, just like anyone else, unless you're somehow connected to these higher-up international monetary cartels that are shaping the world in front of you. Okay? So make a change, develop a new software, write a book, but research and be good to your fellow human being. Be nice. All right? Be nice, be happy, but make a change. And don't allow yourself to be manipulated. Have a great day.